When two electrons are 10 to the minus 33 meters, which is of course amazingly absurd small distance, when they are that separated, the gravitational force and the electromagnetic force are the same. And of course, when you talk about the Big Bang, you're talking about something that grew from essentially what we call a singularity. So actually everything would be at that distance, at a minute time after the Big Bang. And all the forces could therefore be the same if you use the same kind of analogy. We've got the gravitational and the electromagnetic force being the same if they are this distance apart. Well, remembering that r is 10 to the minus 33 meters, let's consider what the energy would have to be in order for that to be the case. So just a reminder that E equals PC, which equals hc over r, because we said that P is h over lambda, but when lambda is of the order of r, we can call this h over r. And what is that going to be in numbers? Well, again, we're just doing a hand waving exercise. H is 10 to the minus 34. C is 3 times 10 to the 8, so we'll call that 10 to the 8. And R, we said, was 10 to the minus 33. And that comes to 10 to the 7, and that's energy, and energy is measured in joules. To convert joules to electron volts, you essentially have to multiply by, multiply by 10 to the 19. So 10 to the 7 times 10 to the 19 is now in electron volts. So that's essentially 10 to the 26 EV, and that is the equivalent of 10 to the 17 GeV. So when the energy was 10 to the 17 GeV, the electrons would have been 10 to the minus 33 meters apart, and the strength of the forces would be the same. Now, if I tell you that the Large Hadron Collider, when it's working at its peak, will have something in the order of 10 to the 4 GeV, you can see that it's a long way short of the 10 to the 17 GeV that I have calculated, which would be the conditions fractionally after the Big Bang. In fact, if you do the calculations, you often find that the energy is calculated at more like 10 to the 15 GeV, but look, what's a couple of orders of magnitude between friends? So the argument is that if you stretch back over time, this is time, this is strength of forces. At the moment, you've got the strong nuclear force, the electromagnetic force, I'm not drawing this to scale, the weak nuclear force, and the gravitational force, which are all entirely different strengths. In fact, gravity is 10 to the minus 38, the size of the strong nuclear force. But the argument is that if you plot those back to the time of the Big Bang, what you find is that at that point, they all had the same strength, but the energy at that time was about 10 to 15 GeV. I calculated it's 10 to 17, never mind. So that's the thinking, that they all had the same strength when they were at incredibly high energy, where the particles were incredibly close together, but that spontaneous symmetry breaking has led to a situation where it looks as though we've got 4 completely different types of forces. But in fact, the assertion is that they all stem from the same.